395A and C of the Constitution, the municipalities where Naledi, Dr. Ruth Segemoetsmompati, Madibeng, Getleng River, Ramachere Muilwa, Tswaying, Ditsobotla, and Mahikeng local municipality. Fast forward to 2023 in April, EXCO introduced yet another mandatory intervention into Northwest municipalities. 2 years down the line, it is the same list to be under mandatory intervention. Speaker, the big question should be how effective these mandated interventions are. Of the 8 municipalities that were placed under the intervention in 2021, how many of them have actually been saved? Just to give you an example, Ditsobotla are still being under mandatory intervention, unable to pay salaries today, still falling apart. Nothing has changed. Being placed under Section 139 intervention is a useless exercise. Even administrators seconded from the department failed to stop the rot. The AG reported that, Speaker, we note the role of the Accountant General placed in the Provincial Treasury and its important role. Part of that includes providing technical financial management support to all departments and entities on accounting, audit, and reviewing of annual financial statements. Excuse me. Speaker, let's pause here and reflect on what I have just said. With a huge mandate, the current Accountant General of the Northwest, Mr. Gio Paul, appeared in court on 2 counts of the contravention of the PFMA in March 2023, noting the seriousness of the position and the seriousness of the charges against him. We then wrote to MEC Hosho, requesting her to place him under suspension. To this day, the MEC has not spoken on the matter. Our sources within the department has revealed that Mr. Paul is still going on with his day-to-day routine. So, Speaker, how can we take this department serious when a man who must oversee some of the biggest transactions in the province is himself implicated? What does this say on the investigations that have to be undertaken when he still has access to the evidence to tamper with it? We hope the MEC will give us an answer to that. Speaker, the provincial internal audit is the only gem that we still have in the province. They have been doing an amazing work in terms of risk management, supply chain management, as well as pre-award audits of bids above 10 million rand. We hope that they will not, in Northwest style, fall into the trap of irregularities. Speaker, another big problem in this province, as highlighted by the AG, is the lack of skills and competencies in financial units. 2 years ago, Provincial Treasury conducted a skills audit in municipal finance units. A shocking, damning report came out as a result, which exposed that most of our BTOs are not skilled and qualified. Today, the MEC is speaking about yet another skills assessment to be conducted. What happened to the previous one? What action was taken to ensure that these employees were reskilled and placed where they are suitable and suitably qualified to be placed? It appears, Speaker, that throughout the years, while this department's own audit is sterling, when it comes to action to its sister departments, municipalities and entities, they have been simply reinventing the wheel. And this must be investigated Bo blink en onder stink. You cannot be in shining armor when the crowd you keep is rotten. If the ANC is metaphorically the tail, and let's say the departments and their entities, subsidiaries, and municipalities is the dog, nothing in this hard-fought democratic country and province we love will survive if the tail is shaking the dog. Honorable Moana, please keep quiet so I can conclude. Honorable Khosho, HOD Kenana must take the lead and start with lifestyle audits in their departments. Speaker, if you have nothing to hide, if they have nothing to hide, show the citizens of the province what true leadership is, not just lip service. Show the people of the Northwest what consequence management is. After your lifestyle audits, you do a skills audit and effect change to provide the services of a fully functional 5-star provincial treasury, as your department should be above reproach without fear from the dying ANC government and its principles. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Theologo. Bagolo ba rona ba lentseng ko galaring re kopa gore le se ke la participate mo di-debating tsa maloko a palamente ka puo ya ga modulasetilo wa baduladitulo a re nako e tlatla ya gore le lona le kgone go nna maloko a palamente le kgone go participate mara ga jana ke maloko a palamente fela a dirang jalo le fa le itumetse barongwa pusong ba bua tse di monate go ka fo dikgatlhegong tsa lona, just smile ba tla go bona gore o smile mara kopa le se ke la ita diatla le se ke la participate le maloko a palamente ra leboga. Honorable Ntate Sebigo, Mogogi Ntate Sebigo, Mogogo motona ba kere ka Lutere. Ona le metsotso le lesome.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Bushimape, Honorable Members of Executive Council, Members of Provincial Legislature, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Speaker, the relevance of this budget vote to the management of public finances in the ANC's economic transformation policy, which states that the pathway of economic transformation necessitates an energized, coherent, and effective approach, working together in partnership, and will therefore need a major upscaling of our efforts towards economic emancipation, consistent with our vision of a better life for all. This budget vote is debated under subdued economic times that are characterized by an uneven recovery, resulting to high levels of unemployment, high cost of living, and constrained business environment. This time requires an agile, responsive, and efficient government, and a government that is accountable to its people. The ANC January 8 statement had emphatically directed that our immediate task as the ANC is to advance the interest of our people by responding to challenges of youth unemployment, infrastructure, and low performance of sectors of greater potential and springboard of recovery and growth. The 2023-24 budget presents yet another opportunity to consolidate effort the ANC has, through its government, put to maintain and rescue the provincial economy from the severe effects of COVID-19 pandemic, the international currency fluctuation affecting food and related prices, the energy crisis, and other attendant matters. It is our wish, Honorable Speaker, as the ANC, that with this budget, significant effort be made so that government resources be directed towards fostering and strengthening economic recovery initiatives, including investing in infrastructure as well as business, attracting and enhancing private sector investment in the province. This is in view of the fact that the Premier of this province, Premier Bushimape, in the State of the Province address in 2023, made pronouncement on a commitment by the private sector to contribute to economic growth of the province and the well-being of its citizens. This budget should therefore be geared towards setting the Northwest Province on the right development trajectory to achieving our priorities and advancing the interest of our people. We commend Provincial Treasury for showing the right leadership attitude, including the willingness to collaborate and for being part of administration in pursuit of good governance and accountability to be at the heart of service delivery. These commitments by the private sector will contribute towards creating the much-needed job opportunities for the masses of our people. This talks to one of the priorities for 2023, to boldly mobilize social partners around economic reconstruction and recovery in order to increase job creation, investment, and empowerment. The ANC welcomes this initiative by the private sector to contribute to our provincial economic growth and recovery. Though we note the support and progress made by the provincial treasury to improve the state of municipal finances, as the ANC, we are of the view that the mending municipal finances requires decisive action necessary to install the integrity of the sector. Unfunded mandates, over-expenditure, and ineffective revenue management practices have manifested in many municipalities in our province, defaulting on payment to creditors and falling into financial and service delivery crisis. Furthermore, personnel expenditure is crowding out spending on service delivery and investment. All of this remain concerningly muted, therefore, urgent decisive action is required to address this, and we appreciate the pronouncement as made by the MEC of Treasury. This has been the provincial treasury and government responding to placing certain municipalities in the province under mandatory intervention under Section 1395 of the Constitution, while other municipalities are subject to mandatory intervention under Section 1397. This perilous state of affairs of our municipalities in the province is not what we want to see as the ANC, as this robs our people of the much-needed quality basic services, because municipalities are at the coalface of service delivery. Professionalizing the administration of our municipalities is a critical pillar of addressing these issues, particularly the training of chief financial officers, municipal managers, and other senior officials. We encourage the provincial treasury to continue supporting the province-wide rollout training to support the implementation of municipal standard chart of accounts, commonly known as M-Square. In addition to a number of free tools and training opportunities, including rollout capacity building to initiatives such as General Recognized Accounting Practice, commonly known as GRAP, and revenue management. The supply chain management function is one of the conducts through which government should achieve its service delivery and developmental objective in a sustainable manner. We therefore urge the department to continue with its supporting efforts and aimed at implementing the supply chain reform that seek to guarantee that government derives value for money through the public procurement process, whilst ensuring that the constitutional values of fair, efficient, cost-effective, and equitable and transparent are attained in the process of sourcing goods and services. Honorable Speaker, delayed payments to service delivery that are being used by unethical and unpatriotic officials to solicit bribes must be tackled head-on if SMMEs that are being bankrupted by the practice are to be rescued. These twin demons of greed and corruption that are eroding trust in public institutions are the antithesis of the open, accountable, democratic government required by the Constitution, and should thus far be exposed and confronted wherever they raise their ugly heads. Monitoring of payment to service providers within 30 days and implementation of consequences management should support the fight against corruption and maladministration. We cannot afford to see enterprises that are held to ransom by unscrupulous officials that are demanding to be incentivized before processing payments being bankrupted. Those responsible must be held accountable. The gauntlet must be thrown at such practices, including fronting the ANC's economic transformation objective and empowerment to bring the historically marginalized into mainstream of the economy are to be realized. We unreservedly applaud bold measures implemented by the department to stem out financial irregularities and misappropriation of conditional grants, such as municipal infrastructure grants. Madam Speaker, for radical social economic transformation to happen, we need to advance premeditated collaboration amongst all strategic stakeholders, as they are the key drivers of socio-economic development. We implore to the provincial treasury to continue embedding transparency and integrity in the supply chain value chain and support initiatives that will enhance the public sector procurement system. It is clear that the tide is turning and that deliberate and